Unforgettable stories out of Western Jamaica from the scrapbooks of Adrian Freighter. When the police visited a crime scene in St. Ann in late 2021 to investigate the murder of an alleged St. James gangster, they discovered that the deceased man had 3 gatherings on his person. It was subsequently learned that there was a video in circulation with the deceased man drinking blood from the head of a slaughtered goat. According to a source familiar with the practice, gangsters believed that drinking blood was a form of protection. The practice, which is said to be widespread, is usually done on the recommendation of an obeah man or an obeah woman. The practice has been condemned by the church as a form of devil worship. In an editor's forum I moderated for the Gleaner in October 2016, Pastor Nollis King, who then led the flock at the Rose Heights Full Gospel Church, told the forum that lottery scammers were literally drinking blood.
Great. Okay, so there were witchcraft that drink blood. Our young people are not drinking blood and they don't know that. They will kill goat, they kill chicken, they're killing birds. Yes, because they are now serving the devil according to them.
This grace pastor of the Pathway International Kingdom Ministries in Montego Bay, the late Kevin Smith, who masterminded a ritual killing at his church in 2021, was said to be heavily involved in blood sacrifice and the provision of gatherings, which he supplied to many influential persons across Jamaica. In this edition of Lest You Forget, I will be revisiting a story I wrote for the Gleaner under the headline Gunmen, Obeah and the Wrath of God, which focused on the demise of the infamous Montego Bay-based Toyota gang, which had a special love for high-speed motor cars in carrying out their daring robberies and murders, which included the killing of 2 policemen. The story highlighted a prediction by a pastor that apparently came true. He reportedly warned in a sermon at his church that something bad would happen to the men unless they repented and changed their wicked ways. The lead paragraph of the story I wrote read as follows. Obeah and the Wrath of God are being credited for the demise of the 5 men who were killed in an alleged shootout with the police in St. James last Thursday. This has been fueled by the revelation that the men all had copies of the New Testament Bible in their possession at the time of their deaths. Near says a mother bear them and give them the New Testament Bible as protection, so the woman who was among the large crowd that had gathered outside the Madden funeral home to view the bodies of the men after the shooting. Mayor said the mother tell them that them can't rob, but if them kill, the protection will leave them. While noting that he knows nothing about the obeah practice, much feared crime fighter Clive Karate George Lawrence told the Gleaner that he knew of cases where slain gangsters were found with New Testament Bibles in their possession. I have been in shootout with gunmen who died with New Testament Bibles in their pockets, Lawrence told the Gleaner. The story went on to state the revelation of a pastor who had reportedly warned the gunmen that if they did not cease what they were doing, something bad would happen to them within 7 days. In a story that had appeared in the media, Pastor Bernard Scarlett of the Nord Wesleyan Holiness Church stated the following. We are going to pray for those gunmen, and if within 7 days they don't change their lives, something will happen to them. The pastor was quoted as saying, in the brazen shootout which took place along the Orange Main Road, the much feared gangster Owen Gaitakar, who the police claimed was wanted for the murder of 22-year-old policeman O'Neill Spence, who was killed on Tuesday, February 19, 2001 during a robbery at Jacksontown in Trelawney. 2 days after Spence was killed, his stolen firearm was taken from one of 2 men killed in a shootout to the police in Westmoreland. The gang went underground after the killing of the 5 members, but resurfaced in 2002 under the leadership of Kylie Omar Williams, also known as Matalan, and Frank Prenter Riley, with whom he was implicated in the murder of Police Inspector Rupert Gardner, who was killed inside a financial institution in Westgate, Montego Bay. Riley was subsequently killed in a gunfight with Karate Georgie, while Matalan Williams was killed in a gunfight at his Vernon's Drive home. In looking back at the impact of this gang, there is no question that this was one of the unforgettable stories out of Western Jamaica. Unforgettable stories out of Western Jamaica from the scrapbooks of Adrian Freighter.